When we think of a volcano, we usually picture a massive peak dominating the skyline. Giant polygenetic mountains like Vesuvius or Mount Fuji are intimidating, but they usually give us weeks of continuous seismic tremors before they actually erupt. Imagine you are driving to work on a normal morning. Coffee in hand, you cruise right past a peaceful green hill in your neighborhood, unaware that this innocent mound is an active geological time bomb. Our fixation on those famous giant peaks has left us blind to a silent threat lurking right beneath the foundations of our biggest cities. Take Auckland, New Zealand. It is a stunning metropolis full of busy stadiums. This map shows the colossal Auckland Volcanic Field. Beneath the homes of over 1 million residents, there are 53 distinct monogenetic volcanic vents. A monogenetic vent is a volcano that erupts only once, from a single dedicated crack in the earth. Those picturesque green hills scattered around the city are the remnants of very recent eruptions. Places like Rangitoto Island literally emerged from the ocean a mere 600 years ago. Living in a monogenetic field means the danger is not isolated to a single smoking summit. A new magma bubble could quietly rise under a highway junction or a residential street. The entire city map an active danger zone. This diagram shows how a standard volcano works on the left, acting like a simple chimney that reuses the same main conduit for thousands of years. On the right, we see a monogenetic field, which behaves more like a shattered windshield, with boiling magma searching for any random weakness in the Earth's crust over a massive area. Once it breaks the surface, it erupts violently a single time and then goes completely quiet. The next time magma decides to rise, it will force an entirely new path, which could be 5 or 10 miles away, and it moves incredibly fast. In these fields, melted rock can shoot up from 30 miles deep in the mantle to the surface in less than 24 hours. It travels at about 4 miles per hour, which is the speed of an express elevator when forcing its way through solid crust. Because the magma carves a brand new path to the surface at that speed, monitoring a specific mountain is useless. In 1943, a farmer was quietly plowing his flat cornfield near Mexico City. Suddenly, the ground literally split open right in front of him. Thick smoke smelling of rotten eggs poured out of the fissure. Within exactly 24 hours, that tiny crack in the dirt had grown into a furious volcano towering nearly 160 feet high. Within a week, the Parícutin volcano reached over 500 feet tall, continuously pumping out a massive sea of lava. It buried 2 entire towns, leaving only this stone church steeple tragically poking through the hardened rock. A full-scale geological disaster can materialize from a flat, unassuming stretch of farmland in less time than a week. This diagram illustrates a phreatomagmatic explosion. This occurs when fast-rising magma violently collides with the groundwater that naturally sits beneath modern cities, instantly flashing that water into steam. This reaction does not create a slow, photogenic river of lava that people can easily walk away from. The expanding steam acts like a massive shotgun blast from the ground, launching a towering column of pulverized rock and toxic ash into the atmosphere. That explosive ash is a perfect recipe for global logistical chaos. In 2010, a small eruption in Iceland shot a massive cloud of grit into the sky, grounding over 100,000 flights and stranding 10 million passengers. Volcanic ash contains tiny particles of glass that can melt inside a commercial airplane's engines in mid-flight, immediately shutting down complex air travel networks. A supervolcano is not the only threat to our modern infrastructure. A single small eruption near a major urban hub can paralyze air travel and strand millions of people in a matter of days. Warning signs are already appearing today. Recent studies show increased activity in scattered, mostly unmonitored fields across the globe, including Germany's historic Eifel region. This activity often appears as bradysism. Bradysism is the slow, rhythmic rising and falling of the ground caused by underground magma movement. Because these invisible fields are so painfully understudied, we lack the baseline data to tell if a random tremor is actually magma rising or just a heavy truck driving down the highway. If an emergency alert hits phones in a metropolis not known for volcanoes, citizens will likely hesitate in disbelief. By the time they try to evacuate, the constant rain of heavy, wet ash could already be causing citywide electrical short circuits. Our official emergency plans rely heavily on polygenetic mountains swelling for months, giving us a generous window to flee. That bureaucratic approach is incompatible with the hours-long timeline of a surprise monogenetic eruption. We have spent decades obsessively watching famous tourist volcanoes, but we need to shift our funding and attention toward mapping the silent ones. This heat map demonstrates the current technological frontier. Scientists are utilizing advanced satellites to track strange carbon dioxide spikes and detect terrain elevations as tiny as 1 millimeter per year in seemingly flat, boring fields. The Earth is an immensely hot, restless engine that ignores human property lines and the borders of our cities. Surviving on a geologically active planet requires constant vigilance. The next time you look at a simple green hill in the middle of your neighborhood, you might want to think twice before assuming it is just harmless dirt.